Dart's Q-School season has been as hectic and unpredictable as ever, with both well-established stars and unknown players picking up professional status for the next 2 years. But one of the week's biggest shocks was not an unknown player winning a card, it was instead a former PDC World Championship player being banned midway through for a crazy, controversial incident. And that man was Belgium's Patrick Bullen. Hello and welcome back to Darts World. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the full story of Bullen's up and down career, including the incident that got him banned from Q-School, so make sure to stay tuned. Patrick first appeared in the PDC back in 2004 and 2005, and in the 05 season, he played in a block of 2 Players Championship events in the Netherlands, which confusingly allowed a Belgian player to make it to the World Championships. I'll explain, but these were his results. In the first event, he reached the last 32, but only won 1 game as he got a bye through the last 128. He lost in the last 64 on day 2, but managed to pick up an impressive 3-2 round 1 win over Alex Dry, who appeared in 13 PDC World Championships in a row in the early 2000s and also reached 4 major quarter-finals. Due to the growing number of Belgian players playing in the PDC at the time, it was decided that the best performing Belgium over those 2 events would get a spot at the World Championships, but due to the number of entries being lower than expected, buys meant that a player could have qualified without even having played a match. Therefore, they chose to use match wins to rank the players, which was told to the Belgians ahead of the tournaments. Bullen ended up being one of 3 Belgian players to win 2 games, so a playoff was conducted to decide who got the spot, and it was won by Patrick, strangely securing him a spot at the Circus Tavern. Bullen got a tough draw against number 8 seed Andy Jenkins and went into the game as a 5-1 outsider, and it was Andy who got the better start, winning the first set 3-1. But Patrick then showed what he could do and took out 102 to break throw in the opening leg of set 2 before going on to win the set in a deciding 5th leg. However, Andy then managed to win back-to-back sets to get a 3-1 win in which he averaged 6 points more than Patrick and also managed to hit 1 more 180. His next appearance in a televised event came at the inaugural PDC World Cup in 2010, where he was a part of the Belgian team alongside Rocco Mays. They were 4-1 outsiders for their opening match against Finland, but they managed to beat the Scandinavians 6-2, with Mays hitting the match-winning double top. They then played the Canadian team, which featured 3-time world champ John Part, and despite being outsiders again, were competitive, with Bullen hitting double 16 to force the deciding leg, but then missing that same target for the match, which Canada won in the following visit. After a few Pro Tour appearances in 2011, it was then almost a decade before Patrick appeared in the PDC again, with his return coming at Q-School in 2020, where he won his opening game on each of the 4 days, but failed to make it past the last 1-8 with only 1 average above 85. That meant he only picked up 2 points, finishing way down in 148th and failing to pick up a card. In 2021, he tried Q-School again, making it through stage 1 after a good first day, before winning 4 games in the final stage, including an impressive victory over France's Thibaut Tricot. That time he picked up 2 points, and due to the new format finished higher up at 37th, but again he missed out on a card. He also played on the PDC EU Challenge Tour that year, reaching a quarter-final in the first of 12 events, with 2 averages in the high 90s, but then failed to average that high again or get past the last 32 in the next 11 events. After making it through to the final stage of 2022 Q-School by virtue of another good stage 1 day 1 run, he won 2 games, picking up 1 point, which was nowhere near enough for a card. Then, after only a few Challenge Tour appearances in 2022, he attended 2023 Q-School, where in stage 1 he won 4 games, which meant that he finished 2 places outside of the final qualification spots and missed out on the final stage for the first time since it was introduced. In 2023, he played in a block of 4 Challenge Tours, where he averaged well in the high 80s and won 6 games, including one with a very impressive 100 average. That meant that at the time, he was statistically the most improved player in the field, putting 10 points on his average from the year before. Then, at the start of 2024, he performed decently at Q-School and managed to return to the final stage, but he then failed to make it past the last 32, only picking up 2 points and missing out on a card yet again. On the third day, he lost 6-1 in the last 64 to Paul Crone, and following the game, he was reportedly fined for insulting Paul. The Twitter user who reported this also said that he had insulted PDC officials in the past, something which is very telling about a more recent incident. 2024 also saw him appear in just one block of challenge tours, in which his averages were mostly in the 80s, and he went on one decent run to a last 32. That brings us to this year's Q School, where he had a big incident. He played 6 games across the first 2 days of Stage 2, with 5 averages in the 70s and 1 in the 90s. He won 4 of the games, and on the second day was beaten in a deciding leg by Latvia's Dmitry Zhukov in a game where Bullen had been 4-3 up. In the deciding leg, the Dart Connect report makes it clear that Patrick missed multiple match darts. He then missed the final day of Stage 3, which all the players are supposed to play in, but that was due to the ban we'll look at. However, despite missing day 3, his wins over the first 2 days meant he earned 3 points, enough to move through to the final stage, but he again withdrew, or should I say was withdrawn, after being involved in a crazy incident. It was revealed by Vincent van Genetchen of Nieuwsblad in Belgium. He shared and verified this forum message. Patrick Bullen has been suspended after he gave the finger after his loss, called the PDC a disease with a C, presumably cancer, and kicked chairs through the room. I often play against him in Belgian tournaments. He is indeed a bit explosive. According to witnesses, there was also physical contact behind the scenes. They were unable to reach Bullen to get his response. This all reminds me of the antics of Englishman Nathan Richard, an amateur player who headed into Q School in 2020, having never won a game in 5 attempts, but ahead of the first game told his opponent that he had booked him a taxi home. He actually managed to win that game 5-0, despite averaging just 60, as his opponent, Michael van der Merst, averaged just 41. Following that, he did a large celebration and shouted 5-0. He was then quoted as saying the following: "This is the year. I've had 5 Sambucas and I'm going to get my tour card." He went on to lose his next game and all the ones that followed before it was revealed that he was fined £400 by the DRA for disruptive behaviour at Q School, with it being rumoured that he got a bit excited following his win and threw up outside of the venue. He was later given a 1-year ban after more disruptive behaviour and a social media incident in March. Nathan set up a GoFundMe to attempt to raise money to pay his fine. Now, I want you to let me know what you think about the Bullen incident and punishment in the comment section down below. What should the DRA do about it other than banning him from Q School? And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe, as currently just 15% of my viewers are. You can also hit the bell icon if you want to get notified whenever I upload a brand new darts video. Please also leave a thumbs up if you enjoy this style of video, and you can comment down below giving me any video ideas you want me to make.